Ms. Ranjani Manian is the founder and CEO of Global Adjustment Services Private Limited, which is a 15-year-old destination and cross-cultural services company. Having worked with thousands of clients from over 75 nationalities, Ranjani personifies the essence of the true global Indian with Indian roots and global wings. With a bachelor's degree from Elphinstone College, Mumbai, and a diploma in French literature from University of Sorbonne, Paris, Ranjani's tryst with relocation and cross-cultural services began quite by accident when her American friend needed help acclimatizing to the challenges of living in India. With a capital of rupees 10,000, Global Adjustment Services was born in Chennai in 1995, and her first big client, Ford Motor Company, firmly established the need for a company that offered end-to-end expatriate services. What began as a two-people workforce has now grown to a 50-strong company with offices in Delhi, Bangalore, and Mumbai, and an exhaustive client base that includes companies like Nokia, IBM, Ericsson, Motorola, Saint-Gobain, Dow Chemicals, Caterpillar, Daimler, BMW, Fidelity, GE Capital, Goldman Sachs, Cisco, to name a few. She is the only Indian on the Women's Leadership Board at the Harvard University. She received the 1,600-member-strong Employee Relocation Council's Meritorious Service Award and has led Global Adjustments so as to be chosen as one of the top 10 cool companies of India by Business Today. Ranjani continues to inspire new managers through her fortnightly series in the Hindu Business Line. An indelible part of her service in the last 15 years is the magazine she pioneered and continues to be the editor of, Culturama, previously known as At a Glance Understanding India, which is the country's first free cultural magazine for expatriates that even earned a congratulatory note from the then President of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam. She is known to be an anecdotal and entertaining speaker with practical advice to make you India credible and ready. I extend a very warm welcome on behalf of all of us to you and your team, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking your precious time out. Over to you.
Right now, thank you for welcoming me to come and be a speaker. I met Professor Balabal Chandran 2 weeks ago when he was here just before your convocation at a CII Entrepreneur Award, and he said I should come to address the new batch that was here. And I nervously agreed, and now I know why I was nervous in the first place, because this is a huge auditorium. All of you have a sum total of 200 years of experience here. You know, and I have 15, so I don't know what I'm here to tell you. More than that, my math isn't my strong point, it's okay. So, you know, I don't know what it is that I can share with you that will be completely new and different. I'm not going to promise that I'll do that, but I'm going to tell you just a few stories that I've gathered over time with my team members of how we have worked with different cultures to still retain that Indian roots, global wings, part of the tagline that we use for our programs. And I'm no longer sure if Sriram chose the word first or we did. So we're still debating that, because you have the Indian roots, global mindset tagline, which we deeply admire. And I think you're in a very unique institution because there is no second to Great Lakes in the whole of the country. Probably say from my limited experience of being at a few universities like Duke and Harvard and Emory, I was in Emory last week, I can tell you there's probably no institution like Great Lakes in the world. So you guys can take this model and probably make it world famous. So you're very specially welcomed to my home city of Chennai. I'm very fond of the north and the west because I've lived in both, went to college and school in Bombay, visited Delhi and the rest of the few cities in the north very often, but have lived only in Bombay and Chennai, other than in a little while in France and Japan. So I welcome all of you. I had an opportunity to sort of come down the aisles. You know, that's a tip. All of you will be CEOs of big institutions one day, right? Yes. Good. And those who are not will be super entrepreneurs, right? Good. So you'll all be expected to give give speeches like I'm doing today. So here's a tip. What do you get when you come here to speak? Stage fright. So what do? You get out there and you know your audience. You don't stand here like this posh speaker saying, I know it all and I'm not going to do anything. You get out there and you meet a few people. And suddenly you realize, oh my God, there's so much commonality. How many conversations did we just have? And we said, oh, I know you, my mom knows you. Somebody in the back row, they said, I know my mom knows you. Somebody else said, you already trained, I already heard you speak at CII. Thank God, because now I can't use the same slide that I used then. Or somebody else said, I'm from Bombay, KC College, and I'm like, yes, I'm from Elphinstone. So the commonality of human beings is far more than the distance of strangers. And that comes out very beautifully if you just take the time to know your audience. So this was a little tip taught to me by my mentor, Robert Coles, who was the guru of cross-culture, who lived in San Francisco. He passed on about 6 years ago, but he's the guy who started the concept of cross-culture being a whole field of education and a science. And Bob used to say, get out there and meet the people, and then you'll feel less intimidated. So that's what I tried to do. Thank you for welcoming me. And I'm going to start my slides. Second day here, and he's feeling completely lost and completely overwhelmed with the difference in culture. He's found himself a home somewhere in the heart of South Chennai, but needs to find out what should I do. I'm a single girl, what am I going to do to spend time? How am I going to make friends? Where am I going to find food? What will I do with my spare time, etc. So we based it on that, and then we connect everybody through two things. We have a magazine that talks about cultural differences and similarities between people. We have copies at the end of today. 50 copies here with Chandrika, and she'll be able to leave it here for you. You're welcome to read it or subscribe to it. It's free and it's online and it's a hard copy. But it talks about expat influences or experiences in India and explaining India to them. So we connect people through that, and then through the location of the India Immersion Center, which is a cultural hub we run in Raja Anna Malaipuram, formerly known as Arepuram, in the heart of the city of Chennai. So that's sort of the background under which we run our services. For the past 15 years, we're proud to say we've seen 76 nationalities. 76 to 1 was end of last year. So when Sriperumbudur became Nokia's site, it was an opportunity for our team and us to help work with Finnish people. And the Finns came out to India to do business because they saw the curve of telecom is going to go through the roof. So the first Finnish CEO of Nokia here was Jukka Lehtela, and he said, I'm hoping to sell many millions phone sets. You're all bright MBA guys. You tell me, how many do we sell a month now?
20 million.
Close. According to Shashi Tharoor's TED Talk, it's 15 million a month. And so when they came, he said, do you know how many Finns there are on Earth? Can you guess? Huh? Tell me in millions. Entire Finnish population on Earth is 5 million. And we sell 15 million cell phones a month. So if Nokia stays in Finland, it's not going to grow. It needs to come to Chennai to sell. So that's one of the things they saw ahead of the curve, and that's where they came. And this is the Prime Minister of Finland, Matti Vanhanen. And the woman is the IT Telecom Minister of Finland. And so the two of them came here, and this is the lighting of the lamp ceremony with the factory launch of Nokia that my team and I were involved with. So this was the opportunity where we decided to try and do this as an event management part of our business, but keeping the Indian roads, keeping the tradition, explaining the lighting of the lamp, and then getting on with helping them do both their corporate social responsibility when they started their factory here, which was providing cell phones to the blind, and take care of their marketing and all of those things that they needed to do by being culturally sensitive to what are some commonalities between the Finns and us, and what is it that are really quite different that we need to address, that we need to pay attention to.